You get a Geass, you get a Geass, everybody get a Geass. So, I just watched episode 11 and episode 12 of Code Geass, and I decided I'm going to compress these two episodes into one review because of time frame and, time's sake of being able to upload these both at the exact same time. So, I just finished these two episodes, and I'm just going to briefly talk about each individual episode, what overview, like a quick summary of it. So the first episode 11, it pretty much is finishing up the battle between the High Council pricks that want to sell off the Empress with Lelouch. And then the second episode, the episode 12, pretty much focuses on Cupid Day. So okay, so before I even get into the Cupid Day thing, let's just, talk about episode 11, okay? Let's just dive into those details first. So, episode 11, for the most part, when it comes to the structure of the episode, it was a very good episode. Like, the action, the tactics, the strategy, it was all there, standard Code Geass. It was really enjoyable getting to see to watch. It was a good episode, it really was. But the thing is, though, in the episode, I noticed something that kind of bugged me just a tiny bit. It slightly bugged me, because I don't think it's been shown before. It hasn't, and there's already been an apparent problem with this already in Season 2, so I wanted to mention it. In Episode 11, Lelouch brings out a random mech, or nightmare out of nowhere. This strong nightmare that hasn't been talked about, hasn't been foreshadowed, hasn't been mentioned at all. Lelouch just brings out this random nightmare that is supposedly so overpowered that Britannia decides, oh shit, let's back up. We've lost this. They pretty much say that when Lelouch brings out this, nightmare. So, where did he get this? There was not even really any backstory on it, even in episode 11. So I'm thinking, where did he get this strong-ass mech? I don't know, So, I don't know how to feel about that, because at the end of the day, Lelouch won that fight, not because of strategy, not because of tactics, not because of being intelligent. He won it because a random mech appeared out of nowhere. That's how he won the fight. Yes, he won the fight too using, strategy, manipulating the news and making everybody see what happened with the Empress and stuff like that, what the High Council said. I understand that, and that was good. I love that. But I don't approve of this mech just popping out of nowhere and then Lelouch winning the battle. Because all of Lelouch's battles thus far through the series has been because of strategy. Him being intelligent, smart, thinking about what to do next, overcoming his enemies with his mind, stuff like that. And with this fight, this little fight between the Chinese Federation and Britannia versus him and the Black Knights, it felt like it wasn't, a really good conclusive fight. How Lelouch usually would end a fight, him laughing and killing people and shit, just being happy with his strategy he used. It wasn't like that because there was just came out. So I'm gonna move past that. Just gonna move past that point, okay? So, episode 11. Besides that, it sets up a load of different things. For one thing, it just sets it up to where the High Council gets butchered. They dug their own hole, their own grave, pretty much. They were stupid. They decided to turn against Zinku and, the Empress, selling off the Empress. They showed their true colors on live television, saying, oh, commoners are like insects. I mean, do you look both ways when you walk out the door and step on a couple of ants? And that just, they just dug their own 6-foot hole. That's pretty much what they did in this episode. So, at the end of the day, the Emperors died because of their own stupidity of being stupid. That's how the Emperors died. And Britannia pretty much calls off the marriage ordeal with the Empress because of, what the High Council is doing, and which in turn turns it out to where Britannia is going to probably go into a full-scale war with the Chinese Federation. Since the Chinese Federation now is pretty much weakened, they're going to be coming after them to try to finish them off and gain the territory, because they're trying to have this, secret cult, grow, pretty much. The secret cult that was revealed in episode 11 was pretty much these people that were experimenting and trying to discover how to make a more powerful Geass and give Geass powers to other people. So, that goes back to the first line I said of this review. You get a Geass, you get a Geass, everybody get a Geass. So, pretty much, that's the main objective, what we could see. Lelouch is trying to hunt down this secret little organization that is making other Geass users, and that's one of the main objectives he's trying to do. For instance, V2 controlling, this little organization. We find out C2 was once in charge of this, and now no longer she is. So I wonder how that you know, like, what happened there, but V2 now is the new leader, and Lelouch is trying to hunt them down, so that pretty much, you know, puts that right there. So episode 11, very simple, action-heavy, it was good, I liked it. Besides the mech ordeal, it was a very good episode. Now, moving into the next point, the second part, the episode 12, that... the ending was cool. I like the ending. The Geass Chancellor. Wow, that derp. Holy... Never mind. Okay, so the Geass Chancellor. Didn't mess it up that time. The Geass Chancellor in episode 12, right at the end, Orangey-kun, he uses it. And he does it at the right moment to where he deactivates all the Geass power that's been affecting Shirley through the course of Season 1 and Season 2. So now she has all her memories back. And right here, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about Orangey being able to do something like that. I mean, I understand that the plot needs to progress in some form or fashion. There needs to be conflict. I understand that. But just this random Geass user, well, it's not random Geass user because Orangey's, you know, he was experimented on, and we saw what happened in the last season, what he did at the end of Season 1. So it's kind of obvious he would have something, you know, different, but the overall aspect of a Geass Chancellor just, it doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't, because a Geass Chancellor just destroys all Geass. Like, Rolo's useless, the Emperor's useless, Lelouch is useless. I mean, this dude can cancel all Geass. And I mean, if his power becomes stronger, you know, over time, like how it happened with Lelouch, where he loses control of his eye, and now his eye is always active, I mean, it's possible that Orangey-kun's, you know, Geass could go stronger, like, can get a lot stronger, and I can be able to control it. So, his power is broken. Just straight up broken, because his range was ridiculous. Did you see that range? Like, oh my god, the range of it. I mean, if it has the same weakness as Rolo, like the same weakness with his heart thing, you know, then I understand. Okay, fine. But still, just him being able to cancel Geass like that, it does not sit right with me at all. It doesn't. Because it's a very bad thing to introduce into the story, honestly, from a perspective of a writer, because Geass has been, you know, handled as like a one-time thing, like something, when you use this decision to manipulate someone's memories or manipulate their mind in some form or fashion, it's used to just show you, like, the different decisions you made through your journey as a Geass user, like what Lelouch has done with Shirley. I mean, that affected the overall plot to a major degree for what he has done to Shirley and stuff like that, and so for Orangey just to come in with this type of ability, it kind of doesn't sit right with me, because it kind of throws away all the things and tension that Lelouch has done through the journey. Like, if this dude would have been there with Yuffie, he could have just stopped the entire Yuffie thing, the Euphinator, from ever happening, if he would have been there. So, it just... Okay, so, gonna move past that. Just move past that. Cupid Day. So, majority of episode 12 was seeing romance. And for the most part, there hasn't been much romance when it comes to Code Geass, and it's kind of obvious, the shipping wars. I already see, if this was currently going out, like coming out right now with episode after episode, like weekly, it's kind of obvious that the pairings I'd see right now is probably between Shirley and Lelouch, and probably Colleen and Lelouch, and also, you know, C2 and Lelouch. Those are the pairing wars I see going on in this series. And so, personally, it's kind of obvious at the moment. It seems like I would honestly be voting for C2 and Lelouch, because they know about each other's secret. They're more, you know, entwined together with their destiny and fate. And Shirley, I like Shirley and all, but really I don't know, she seems like a standard character from other series I've seen. She doesn't really stand out as much of other characters. Like, she's been mainly used as kind of a fan service type leg in this series. She has, really. And so, I don't know. The pairings of this episode, that's what it mainly was. Just getting to show the pairings of the different characters. And it was a very out-of-place episode, honestly, especially for the tension of last episode, especially with episode 11 and its tension with the Chinese Federation, or even the entirety of the arc and the feels of Season 2 already. Episode 12 was just very out of place. It really was. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it goes to show you that the maid girl, she was the main person that was portraying as Lelouch and, you know, disguising herself as him. But at the end of the day, though, it just that the theme and the vibe of the episode just did not sit right with me. But overall, it was a good episode. It felt like the tone shift from the last episode that just didn't sit right. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm looking forward to next episode to see what type of shit's gonna go down, especially since Shirley now, you know, kind of remembers everything. She had all her memories flash before her mind, so I wonder what direction she's going to take. Like, is she going to go against Lelouch? Is she going to help him out? I mean, there's a lot of negative things that can happen after this, because this also means that Orange-kun could remove what, you know, Lelouch put on Suzaku. For instance, you know, Liv, he said that to Suzaku. Well, it's possible that he could remove that from him, and so, yeah. We'll have to see. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.